In this clip from the Self-Unemployed Podcast, Joshua Kinsey-Clough delves into the essential physical pillar of our well-being. He explores how maintaining our physical health serves as a vehicle for navigating life's challenges effectively. Joshua discusses the integration of exercise, nutrition, and rest into our daily routines to fortify our bodies and minds against life's inevitable storms. Listen as he shares insightful perspectives on developing a robust physical foundation that supports overall character, strength, and resilience. Join us to understand why cultivating a balanced approach to physical health is crucial for sustainable personal growth and well-being. Okay, so the first pillar is the physical.
Yes, sir.
So tell us more about that.
So the physical pillar essentially is this physical body that we have as a vehicle to navigate this world, and the physical habits also that make up our daily existence. So inside physical, I would say physical development, should we say, you develop that pillar. And the idea of the pillars is to create a solid structure upon which your character can stand. So your character is kind of like the roof, the final touch to those pillars. And how well built those pillars are will determine how strong your character is. The stronger your character, the better you can hold yourself up and withstand the storms of life, because life is about challenges. There is no easy life. And there's a saying, you don't wish for an easy life, wish for the strength to endure a difficult one. And if you have a sound body, mind, spirit, wallet, emotional body, which obviously we'll touch on more, but if you have those sound foundations, navigating the challenges is far easier. So the physical pillar essentially consists of movement, exercise, physical well-being from a muscular, skeletal standpoint. Then we have nutrition, the fuel that we use to feed this machine that we get to operate on a daily basis. And then it's also the sleep, because one of the most crucial parts of our existence is being well rested enough to be able to be in control of ourselves. If we don't have enough rest and we burn out, our ability to manage ourselves, to navigate the challenges, drastically decreases, because we're not in a position to be able to essentially compute, understand, and prioritize in the ways that we need to. So when it comes to physical exercise, etc., I was a bodybuilder when I was an athlete. And on that journey, I learned a lot about what it means to cultivate a strong body. However, one of the flaws of that particular sport is that it's all well and good having a big body that is, packed with muscle and looks great from the outside, but aches, pains, niggles that come prove how unstable your philosophy is when it comes to physical development. So the way I've kind of structured the physical pillar inside of this philosophy is to have a more, I would say, balanced approach to exercise, to stretching, movement in general, where you're not going towards the extremes of bodybuilding, crazy amounts of muscle. You're not going to the extremes of ultramarathon, running 100 miles. But instead, your daily habits constitute of a healthy amount of intense exercise that allows you to build a healthy body of muscle, maintain elasticity in those muscles so they can maintain their health, build also the strength in the ligaments and tendons that hold those muscles together, and also build a strong heart, lung capacity so that you can push more blood and oxygen through your body at a greater rate to fuel your mind, fuel your body, and essentially give you unlimited energy. because that is kind of like
Yeah.
the byproduct of really managing well your physical habits, is you end up with infinite energy, right? And then
Yeah.
inside that, I mean, I don't know if you want to like touch on that a little bit before
No, because I need to work on my fitness, and I have been a little bit recently, but thinking about it, I really don't. If I spend an hour in the gym, if it doesn't give me another hour, I mean, okay, maybe not straight away, but in the long term, if I spend an hour in the gym, but then I'm really tired, and then it's kind of a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
But if that hour in the gym gives me another 2 hours of high performance on my work, then it's worth doing. So, but I think a lot of people, they do get they. I mean, it's like the same with the finances. You can spend too much time on the physical, too much obsession without thinking about the bigger picture. And a lot of people will spend 3 or 4 hours a day in the gym because they get kind of obsessed with it, and then but then they're not really doing anything else with their life. Not really doing anything useful. I mean, in a way, when you get to that stage, it's a very selfish thing to do. You might feel good and look good, but it's pure vanity if you're not using that health and that high performance to do something useful with your life. So I've been very. That's I guess that's one thing that's held me back, I suppose, from doing it. But I know that I do need to. I know that I definitely need to do more exercise. I just want to quickly say thank you so much for watching or listening. If you are watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up and a subscribe and all that, and subscribe to the podcast, leave us a review. All those things are super useful. But if you like what you're hearing and you'd like to become self-unemployed yourself, then I'd really like to build a community. And the way that I'm doing that is I've got a free mailing list that you can join. And when we record these episodes, they're going to be put out as live streams. So you'll get to see a little bit behind the scenes. You'll get to see the episodes before they go out on the main channel and on the podcast. And you'll get to interact with us as we're recording. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, head on over to the website, links in the description. And I look forward to chatting with you as we record future episodes.
I do love what you just said, though, because you have a very valid point. And that is one of the reasons that the philosophy around the physical training has evolved in the way it has, because I have been the person that spends countless hours in the gym for vanity purposes and winning trophies and all this nonsense that essentially got me to a point of, it got me to this point of almost self-inflated, egocentric existence that was completely empty on the inside and served no purpose in my life. It was like, what have you been done? So that is a great point. But now we'll flip it for a moment, and I'll say, and what I will say to you is, okay, maybe not an hour, but how does 20 minutes sound, right? Number one. And maybe not tomorrow, but how does 20 minutes a day, paired with the right nutrition habits, without having to sacrifice everything, but getting you into a place where you are consuming enough of what you need to and still enjoying life in the ways that you like to, and setting up a sleep schedule that grants you all of those sleep tokens that you need to be at your best? And how about maybe you suffer more for 3 months than you would like to, but the payback after the 3 months is those extended days? Because we also have to take into account that in order to get to the place where we are like, right, I now have more energy, we do have to suffer a bit. In the same way, the person that doesn't know how to save money and spends all their money, they have to start saving money, for example, and they have to stop indulging in the ways they were. And that might be a bit painful for them at start because they're accustomed to this lifestyle of spend, spend, spend. But after 3 months of spending, they look at their bank account and they're like, man, I'm really grateful that I invested my energy into holding back the things I indulge in because now I have something to show for it. I think it's the same with the investment in the gym and on your plate. It is that if you take 3 months now, you will be so much closer to that identity of the individual, the version of you that wakes up in the morning going, man, I feel good. That walks down the stairs and runs up the stairs and is like, I feel great. That has better sex, that has a better enjoyment of nature because they can hike a mountain. And instead of contemplating pain, they look around and go, what a view, beautiful tree, nice bird. This is incredible. So it's kind of like shifting that perspective as well to long term. What do I want to achieve? But also, where am I now? And if I can be honest with myself, can I really expect this to not suck for a bit?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, and it's interesting. There is a lot of parallels between that and building wealth, and like the first two phases of the self-unemployed philosophy for building wealth is like, first of all, stop money working against you, and that means making sacrifices because you've lived a lifestyle, you've lived beyond your means, and you've got in trouble. So now you've got to reverse that. That's going to be hard. In the same way that someone who has, got bad health is going to have to make sacrifices, make changes, which is going to be difficult. And then the phase two is about, once you've solved those problems, about slowly starting to get into good habits that can be sustained. Before then doing, phase three, which is then sort of really educating yourself, which I don't think, but I think, so it has a lot of parallels with phase 1 and 2.
It's one of the reasons I'm really grateful to be on this podcast, though, because your philosophy on wealth, I know has so many crossovers to the principles that I kind of help the people I help with.
Okay, well, if you are still watching, thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment. If you're listening to the podcast, make sure you're subscribed on whatever platform you're on. Leave us a review as well. All that stuff really helps. But the main thing is, head on over to our website, selfunemployed.co.uk, and there you'll be able to enter your email address. And once you've done that, you'll get invited to join us when we are recording future episodes. They're going to go out as live streams on YouTube, but not to the public, only to people who are on that mailing list. So if you do that, you'll be able to interact with us, ask questions as we're recording future episodes. So if you're looking to grow your wealth and become self-unemployed, let's do it together. I'll see you next time.